So as a software engineer, can we earn 1 CR based?
After Satya took over in 2014, the seeing that company transformation right in front of the eyes was an amazing experience and amazing learning for me.
And like everyone is talking about DSA, DSA, DSA. If you want to go into Microsoft Google, then you must know DSA. So is it possible to enter into Microsoft without DSA? So around 13, 14 years you completed in Microsoft. How you see the transition of Microsoft from 2011 to 2024?
Oh, that's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
2011.
Like as a fresher, we join as a SDE1, so you working as a senior director. So there are a hierarchy like SDE1, SDE2, SDE3, then principal engineer, then manager, then director. So can you explain one by one each hierarchy?
Yeah.
And what is the salary range for?
So I come from an agriculture background. My father was a farmer.
So you started your career in USA in 1999. So how you moved to USA and tell about your first job in USA? Around 3 years you completely run your company
Yes,
in US.
correct.
I have seen some people at SDE3 level, but later they switched into product management role. So who should go in that role?
So I was working for Accenture US.
So you have around 30 years of experience. You must have taken a lot of interview for hiring the candidate. So what skills you must see in the candidate before hiring?
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
So hello guys, till date you must have watched a lot of podcasts regarding software engineer who is working at Microsoft or Google as SDE1 or SDE2 level. But today we have a very special guest, Jagan Sir, who is working as a senior director of software engineering at Microsoft, and he has almost 30 years of experience, and he worked in USA for more than 10 years. Currently we will go deep in his career and we will learn a lot from him. So sir, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Deepak. This is Jagan. I'm working with Microsoft for last 13 years in India. Before that, I was in US for 13 years, consulting for different companies, starting from all three in engineering background, consulting for different customers on integrations, client server development, and ERP productions.
Okay. So, sir, I want to know a bit about your initial life, your schools and your family background.
Sure. So I come from an agriculture background. My father was a farmer. My mom is a homemaker. Coming from an agriculture background, I kind of started getting exposed to the education as I started working. Some of my uncles are very well educated, and they kind of helped us to kind of get into the education. I did my engineering in Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada. Then I started working in India in software technology park in Maitrivanam in Hyderabad back in 90s.
Okay.
My first job was on client server development using Power Builder and Sybase. Then I got an opportunity to go to US in 94, where I went to US, worked for multiple clients, mostly on client server systems. Then after that, I got introduced to integrations as a main topic, where I got into Microsoft Desktop Server as an application. I did independent consulting with different customers. Then I got exposed to ERP systems like SAP, and today I'm still working in SAP. When I came back to India, I was working for Accenture US. Then I moved back to Accenture India. Then in 1-2 years, I joined Microsoft. I'm still working there in Microsoft.
Nice. So, sir, I want to know about your college life. Like, how was your college?
Yeah, college was in Vijayawada. It was just like any other college life. It was really fun. It was definitely a lot of studies, but at that time the studies were more yearly based, not semester based. So there was we had a good amount of gap where we had time, but also end of the year we also had to study for months and months. It was a good time, but also equally balanced with studies.
So, you started your career in USA in 1999. So, how you moved to USA and tell about your first job in USA?
Yeah, when I moved to US, it was in 90s. I got an opportunity. One of my friend was working in US already. It was the time where H1 was just kind of getting started. A lot of the students at that time were going on F1 visa, student visa. And I got an opportunity, luckily, to go on H1 where, the financially it was easy on my family, where, I just started, I started a H1 process, got an interview from one of this company in Pittsburgh. where they did a technical round, multiple technical rounds. Then after that, they sponsored the H1 visa, and I started my first job in US.
Okay, okay. So in USA itself, you working on your own company, like a cyber world enterprise.
Yes, not initially. Initially, I was working for different companies. After 5-6 years of stay in US, I got my green card. Then I started my own company called Cyber World Enterprises. On that company, I was consulting for different customers on that company.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So around 3 years, you completely run your company
Yes,
in US.
correct.
Okay, okay.
Correct.
So after that, you moved to Accenture, right?
Yes, after that, I joined Accenture in US.
So share about your Accenture experience.
Yeah, so in Accenture, it was, I basically was working on SAP with Accenture. It was a great experience working in a company which is very process oriented, a very big organization. Till that point, I was working in small companies where, it was like more like the process was less, it's more individualistic achievements. But Accenture introduced me to the process-centric and team-centric organization where I've learned a lot of processes and systems and structures in Accenture.
And then how you came to like Microsoft?
So after moving back to India, I started working with Accenture India. Then at that time, there was a new concept called factory model introduced in Accenture. So I basically started that factory model and built a team of 10 members to around 100 people in a short span of 2 years.
In Accenture
In
Hyderabad.
Accenture Hyderabad. That is still active. It is called Solution Factory as of today.
So Accenture started that time in Hyderabad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then after that, after a couple of years, one of my friends was working for Microsoft, and then he spotted an opportunity in SAP team, and he referred me to Microsoft, and then I got through the 5 rounds of interview loops. Then I joined Microsoft in 2011.
Okay. Can you explain SAP in layman terms so that audience can understand?
Yeah. SAP is called ERP product. To simply put, ERP product is a ready-made software which is already available from the company called SAP. Then to run your internal business, like Microsoft runs their business starting from order to cash. You advertise your products, you take customer orders, you deliver it to the customer. All of that process runs on ERP systems. And SAP is the major enterprise software company where Fortune 500 businesses run on it. So what we do in Microsoft is we take standard SAP software, we customize it to the needs of Microsoft business. So it's some of the configuration work which is required, and also the development work which is there for Microsoft needs.
Okay, okay. So like you started in Microsoft in 2011.
Yeah.
So around 13-14 years you completed in Microsoft.
Yeah.
So how you see the transition of Microsoft from 2011 to 2024?
Oh, that's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
2011, when I joined, Steve Ballmer was the CEO. When I joined the company, it was a great company, great brand. It was very interesting. But after I joined the company, the culture of the company was definitely a problem area where, it was a lot of it as a know-it-all. Like, I know how to do things. Somebody coming from outside was not very welcome. The culture at that time was more like, we know how to do, just, follow us type. So that's how it was at that time. After Satya took over in 2014, seeing that company transformation right in front of the eyes was an amazing experience and amazing learning for me. Like he literally put foundational elements of growth mindset and diverse culture and really pushed the organization from the top to bottom in terms of, how to really be a learn-it-all organization versus know-it-all. So it's like, yes, we know a lot of things, but there are a lot of things which we can get better at, right? That's the foundation of the culture transformation that happened at Microsoft from 2014.
Okay. And one thing I want to know, like as a fresher, we join as a SDE1, so you working as a senior director. So there are a hierarchy like SDE1, SDE2, SDE3, then principal engineer, then manager, then director. So can you explain one by one each hierarchy?
Yeah.
And what is the salary range for each?
I will not go to too many levels. Let me talk through in 3-4 layers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So one is a SDA1 who just joined the company,
Yes.
the expectation from SDA1 is really to be good at the technical stuff and then learn as much as they can while they are in the job. There is support provided from the seniors, but with the provided support, they have to be very accountable, they have to learn things quickly, and they have to deliver things. That is the expectation of SDA1. When you go to the middle layer of senior, the expectation shifts where you have to take care of your work, but you're also helping the juniors. It is already expected. So you're already looking after your accountability plus helping 2, 3, 4 juniors. That is expected at the senior level. Then when you go to manager level, it's not just about the technical work, it's about the accountability for the overall delivery. So you are mostly looking after 10 to 15 people, and you are responsible for all the work that is assigned to them. So it means it includes the SDA1 who is on the ground doing the work, SDA2s, and then some of the senior engineers. So that's how the expectation of the manager. When you become director, you are going one level up where multiple managers are reporting to you.
Okay.
So typically the team sizes range from 50 to 100 for a senior director.
Okay.
And then expectation is, you are accountable for a bigger scope, but you have to really keep the managers motivated, and they kind of really work with the senior engineers and then the junior engineers. So that expectation kind of goes up from a SDE1 to senior engineer to manager to director.
So as a software engineer, can we earn 1 CR base pay?
Yes, absolutely. When you go into senior roles, starting from SDE1 to senior director to VP, you can get to base pay. But at senior levels, the base will not increase as much. The focus shifts to the stock grants which you get. So yeah, you can get there, but at that point, your base pay will be much lesser than how much stocks you're getting.
Okay.
So it can be 2 crores if you look at the total package.
Okay. Is base pay possible 1 CR at some level?
Yes, it does. At senior levels, yes, much higher than senior director.
Okay. So how much years of experience is it required to reach that level?
To me, it's not the number of years of experience. Some people got there for 15 years. For some people, it's 20 years. For some people, it's 25. So it's really about your ability to really understand the role expectations and get there, not the number of years of experience. Like after senior software engineer, it's not the number of years.
Okay.
It's about what you bring to the table.
Yes. So now it's in 15 years we can earn 1 CR. So you have around 30 years of experience. So you must have taken a lot of interview for hiring the candidate. So what skills you must see in the candidate before hiring?
Yeah. So there is a philosophy, at least I follow, which is about we are not hiring the skill, we are hiring the character. So I really look for the technical skills which are required, but yes, it's important. But more than that, what kind of person you are getting into the team, that is more important. Is that person can learn new technology? Is he has the right values to fit into Microsoft? So there are multiple angles we look at before we get people into Microsoft.
And like everyone is talking about DSA. If you want to go into Microsoft Google, then you must know DSA. So is it possible to enter into Microsoft without DSA?
When you say DSA, data structure
Algorithm, yes.
Yeah. So if you are going into the product, obviously DSA is super critical, right?
Yes.
But there are other areas where you're not building a product. You're working in IT, right? I mean algorithms are important, but not so critical.
Yes.
So you can, but if you're really getting into the product building, I feel DSA is super critical.
Yes. I want to ask one question, like who should go into product management role? Like I have seen some people at SDE3 level, but later they switched into product management role. So who should go in that role, or who should like continue with engineering part?
Yeah, it really depends on the person. When you get into the product management, you're dealing mostly with customers. If you are an engineer, you are sitting in front of the computer. So it depends on you where you draw the energy from, right? If you are really a hardcore developer, you get a lot of energy writing code, then you better be an engineer.
Yes.
But if you really love to talk to the customer, understand customer pain points, understand customer challenges, then you are better off as a product manager. So it depends on your own choice or where you draw energy in your work.
Okay. So is it the myth or it is a fact, like if your coding is not that much sharp, then you can go into product management?
I don't agree with that. A
Yes.
lot of times when people switch, because they are not good at programming, they get into product management, it's not a success. It really depends whether they are really drawing that energy talking to the customer and understanding customer pain point, right? As a product manager, it's not about really coordinating and getting things done, right? It's really about understanding customer pain point. You have to put yourself in customer shoes, figure out what challenges they are facing, come up with a product idea which is going to help the customer. It's a much difficult job, if you ask me, compared to an engineer. But it all depends on what you are passionate about, either computer or the customer, right?
Yes,
That
yes.
defines the discipline.
So as we know, if company is hiring at SDE level, SDE1, SDE2, SDE3, then Microsoft, Google ask must DSA system design question, low level, high level design. So, but if they are hiring at manager level, engineering manager level,
Yeah.
or is in product manager level, so which type of question they ask? Like is still they ask like coding, pure coding question or what? Can
Yeah.
you explain?
Yeah, at the core is problem solving and analytical skills. They are required for manager too. And, little bit of hands-on is required. So there will be questions. Whatever questions are there for the software engineer, same will be there for manager too at a higher level. In addition to that, what is expected of a manager is how do you motivate people? How do you manage people? How do you mentor, coach them, right? The typical questions include your previous experience about managing people, either as a senior lead, like, when you say you are already a senior lead, you are already managing couple of juniors. So there will be questions related to instances, examples of you managing your juniors and motivating them and really getting things done. I think those are the questions it will be the area focused on.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, if you have manager experience, then it's a multiplied. So many questions can come through in terms of performance management, managing managing low performance team members. All those things will come into play if you already played a manager role. But if you are coming for the first time, then the questions will be about how you managed your junior developers. That will be the main area that they'll be focused on.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So what advice you will give to audience who is just starting their career?
Yeah, but one is obviously building the technical skills, which is the foundation, and also keep learning about the new things that are coming up in the market, whether it is Gen AI or anything else. Keep an eye open for what's happening in the market. Keep learning new technology. That's one for sure. Apart from that, you also want financial independence at some point in time. You don't want to be tied to your work for your monthly paycheck. So I strongly advise the fresh joiners to kind of reserve some percentage of the savings into an investment mechanism.
Okay.
It can be very simple of stock market indexing, where you just take 10% of your savings, put it into stock market index every month. It's just a recurring mechanism. You don't even see the money. It's like tax. You are paying the tax, you don't see the tax. Think of this as something you're saving for future. That small amount which you save now will multiply over the years, and you'll be surprised what is that big number when you get to 40s or 50s. So
Yeah, compounding.
compounding.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I strongly recommend to kind of continue the career path, but also kind of continue your financial independence path, where you keep saving the money for future.
Yeah, nice. And stay tuned, guys, for the financial. We will have another podcast, and very interesting thing will come. So stay tuned.